All right, Etsy's latest changes are here with a message from the CEO, Josh Silverman. I'm going to talk about all the changes, everything you guys need to know in this video, summarize it so you don't have to guess or try to figure out what the heck Etsy changed this time. And I know you're probably holding your breath. Don't be scared. These changes are very, very minimal. Basically, they sent out an email a few days ago recommitting themselves to the human touch, so doing things with a human element, keeping humans involved inside of Etsy and making it a little bit clearer as far as what that means with certain listings. So there is a page, I'm going to link to it below there, where Josh Silverman talks about all of these recent changes. So this is the video that he posts talking about these changes. One of the things that he hints on or talks about is last year they removed 4 times as many listings as before when it comes to listings that violated the terms and the policies inside the Etsy handbook. So there's still, he recognizes that it's still a struggle. It's still an uphill battle with sellers on the platform selling stuff that they should not be selling and stuff that's against Etsy's policies, and they're stepping it up and continuing to find ways to remove those listings. And I know that's one of the biggest complaints with Etsy sellers is you get the scammy sellers on there, the mass produced items, and they're continuing their efforts to try and remove those. Whether you think they're doing a good enough job or not, that remains to be seen. Obviously, we still want them to do more and do better, but that's one of the things that he touched on. The biggest change that he talks about in this video was their creativity standards, and this is nothing new. Nothing has changed as far as what you're allowed to sell on the platform. They're just being a little bit clearer with how they're presenting those items to both sellers and buyers on the platform. So now listings are going to have these different badges that you can see here: made by whatever the shop name is, designed by whatever the shop name is, sourced by, handpicked by. So made by basically means that you designed and made the whole, your end to end. You designed it, made it, produced it. Only you were involved in that process. The design by could be that you designed it, but you had a production partner make it, or you designed it and it's a printable, or you designed it and it's a downloadable, but you did have a part in designing it. So that is, you're allowed to sell both of those ways. The sourced by is mainly for like party supplies, craft supplies, that you're basically sourcing those items and selling them on the platform, which is allowed. And then handpicked by basically means vintage items. You're allowed to sell vintage items that are over 20 years old on the platform. So if you're selling those vintage items, this is how it will be displayed on your listing, these different badges, to make it a little bit clearer. Is this a vintage item? Is this just a design only item that has a production partner? Or is this a end-to-end complete handmade item? So that's the main thing that they are focusing on. They're saying that you will already start to see those different badges on there, or you'll see them very, very soon. But again, reiterating, nothing has changed in terms of what you can sell on the platform and how you can sell on the platform. And they're just trying to make it a little bit more clear as far as what type of item this is and what part of the process the human element was involved in it, because they want to continue to find ways to interject the human element inside their listings and their products, and they've gotten away from that. And I know that's one of the complaints that a lot of Etsy sellers feel is they've kind of gotten away from the human element with all these people doing mass-produced stuff. It's not as handmade as it used to be, and I know there's still complaints with people using production partners and things like that to produce items, but that is allowed, and that's been allowed for a while now, for the last couple of years. The other thing that the video talks about is their new ad campaign. So they're rolling out a bunch of new ads here and in the UK, where they're actually going to feature current sellers, like real sellers in the ads. Pictures of the sellers making their items, pictures of the sellers holding their items. So they're really trying to do a new ad campaign focused on the human touch of the real people involved, the real small businesses involved in selling items on the Etsy platform. So the video, which again up here, if you watch the video, it has a couple of samples of the ads that they are rolling out. This is a sample picture of some of the billboards that they're doing. So you may see billboards, you may see TV ads, and Josh Silverman talks about both of those. The other thing that this article talks about is they are bringing back Etsy Up, which is a virtual seller conference that returns on September 10th. Talking about insightful tips, connecting with other sellers. Basically, it's just different tips and strategies and things to get you excited and get you informed on the Etsy platform. So they've had it the last couple of years. You may or may not watch it. You may or may not get a lot of value out of it. It's highly curated. It's very like high level. It doesn't really get in the weeds too much, but there are some. You can get some gold nuggets out of there probably. The other thing, the Etsy Design Awards, they're rolling that back out on July 16th, so very, very soon, where you can basically submit your one of your Etsy products to win a design award, and with that comes usually cash prizes, and then obviously a ton of publicity, if I could say that word, to basically showcase your item. So yeah, you may not. I mean, the odds of winning is very, very slim. Probably have better odds of getting struck by lightning. But hey, go ahead and submit it. Why not? You never know what could happen. You have a good product, you have a best-selling product. Go ahead and submit it and see what happens. If you win, you may win, and then you're going to be super excited, and it's going to be a snowball effect, I'm sure. But they are bringing back both of those things very, very soon. But that is the short and sweet of what these changes are. Not really much change at all. Nothing to get, I don't think, upset about this time. They're just trying to make things a little bit clearer. So I think I'm on board with these changes. Definitely I'm on board with the ads and different things like that to showcase Etsy and to continue to bring more traffic to Etsy. That is one of the strong suits of Etsy. They are bringing in lots of traffic, hundreds of millions of buyers every single year, billions of views. So hey, I'm all game for different things that they can do to bring more traffic and showcase Etsy. There's still a lot of people that don't know what the heck Etsy is, which is surprising, but the ads I think will help out. So we'll see what comes of this, but I think this is definitely something that's not a bad change, and it gives us a little bit more insight into the direction that Etsy's going, and they're continuing to try and listen to Etsy sellers. I know they're doing a lot of surveys. I know they tested a lot of stuff during the summer. They said they're going to also set up in-person meetings coming soon. So as long as they are at least attempting to engage and continue to engage with sellers on the platform, I don't think that can be a bad thing. They recognize that they have some improvements to make, and let's face it, all e-commerce platforms have improvements to make constantly. They're always going to be doing things that we don't necessarily like, good and bad, yin and yang. So we will see, but those are the recent updates that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'll link to this article so you can watch the video below.